And in cases such as that, many times our clients found that there were no available positions.
Right now on Up with KREM, nearly 20 Washington state workers filed a lawsuit against Governor Jay Inslee over the state vaccine mandate. Why many workers who filed exemptions are at risk of losing their jobs.
And the South Hill Dog Park has a new temporary location. Why park representatives are hoping to forge a new relationship with the city of Spokane.
And conditions are quite cold this morning. It's the coldest we've felt in Spokane this season so far. And by next week, we're introducing more rain chances back in the forecast.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis.
Glad to have you here with us. I'm Tim Pham. Let's get right to our big story. Nearly 20 Washington state workers filed a lawsuit against Governor Jay Inslee and the city of Spokane over the state vaccine mandate.
Now, the lawsuit claims that the governor's COVID-19 vaccination mandate violates the contract between workers and the state. It cites the workers' exemption requests were accepted, but that their employer provided no accommodation or reassignment. Grant Wolf is one of the two lawyers representing the workers who filed the suit.
In a lot of cases, the employers said that we can't reasonably accommodate you in your current position. You can apply for a reassignment to a new one. And in cases such as that, many times our clients found that there were no available positions.
Wolf says his clients are ultimately at risk of losing their jobs. He expects more plaintiffs across Washington will be added to the complaint against the state.
So given this lawsuit and many like it across the country, we wanted to look into whether or not these vaccine mandates are working.
Or if a large number of healthcare workers are leaving their jobs instead. So Providence of Southwest Washington and Oregon employs about 23,000 people. The company says before vaccine mandates were put in place, about 80% of its workforce was already vaccinated. That number jumped to 90% after mandates were put in place.
And at Kaiser Permanente, before the Oregon vaccine mandate, about 79% of its 11,000 employees were vaccinated. But that number jumped up another 10% after the mandates were put into place.
All right, let's get outside now and talk about weather, because you'll notice when you walk out the door,
it's cold.
It's cold. You know, we've been talking about it getting kind of colder every day this week, and it's finally here.
Yes.
What about this weekend, though, Thomas?
Yeah, we're really more of the same. This is the weather that we're just going to settle into for the foreseeable future. Yesterday morning, we started out 37 degrees. Today, we're starting out the day at 36. This appears to be what our low temperature will be for the day today, marking the coldest weather so far this season. Other areas across the inland Northwest are even colder yet. Plenty of 30s across the region waking up this morning, but at least that sunshine is going to warm us up into the 60s later on today. If you look at the weather graphics, we got plenty of sunshine for the afternoon hours, and we got some 60s here. I'll throw it up on the screen right next to me. 61, the expected high temperature later on for today, with sunshine all across the inland Northwest. So that's not going to be an issue today, but really for this weekend, Sunday is going to be that day that's going to turn a bit nasty with the rain and the wind in the forecast. As for the fall colors, we are getting close, if not already, at the peak colors already. So make sure to send us your best fall foliage pictures, because we want to see what it looks like for those tree colors in your region. But coming up, I'm going to detail that weekend forecast and give you an hour-by-hour timeline of when to expect the worst rain and wind across the region.
Well, the South Hill Dog Park saga is seeing new developments today. The former park is shut down to make room for a new middle school.
A temporary replacement park is opening today, but the park's long-term future continues to be a point of discussion. The new location will be right next to the old one, and representatives for the dog park are focused on the future.
When it comes down to it, we might be able to, at some point in working with Spokane Parks and all that stuff, we'll be able to get a water feature.
Hopefully they can get some trees in there and make it look sort of nice.
Well, the permanent home of the dog park remains up in the air. Ward says he's hopeful a true partnership can be found between the park and the city. It is time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Multi-care doctors are looking for volunteers to participate in their Moderna booster trial. Dr. Jonathan Stavin says the trial will look at the positive and the negative effects of getting the booster and either a flu or shingles vaccine.
Well, craziness in the kennel.
Now, great.
All right, let's talk about craziness in the kennel. That is happening this weekend, a big weekend for the Zags. It's returning to the McCarthy Center this weekend. Now, the event happening Saturday at 1 o'clock. It will require a ticket to attend, but if you can't make it, the event will be live streamed online. Anyone in attendance, though, must show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test.
And also happening this weekend is Spokane Pride happening on Saturday.
How's it going?
This year, it will be a drive-through event at Spokane Arena featuring local nonprofits and businesses. We spoke with the Spokane Pride president yesterday on why this event is so important for the city.
Our mission, our goal, our vision remains the same this year as it always has, and that's truly to uplift Spokane's LGBTQ+ community and to truly continue efforts in maintaining our visibility here specifically in the Inland Northwest.
Spokane Pride will be on Saturday at the Spokane Arena from 4 to 8 p.m. Now, masks are required for all attendees. That's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's going on in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
For quite a few years and said, hey, let's grow some pumpkins and let's have a pumpkin patch.
Moses Lake Farm spent 6 months growing 15,000 pumpkins, but they aren't for sale.
This one?
The KREM Cares Big Book giveaway is less than a week away. After the break, we're talking to communities and schools Spokane about why accessibility to books is important for children.
And it's looking like a beautiful Friday afternoon weather-wise. The fall colors are in full display across the Inland Northwest. Would love to see what it looks like in your town. But we are tracking some windy and wet weather for this upcoming Sunday. More on that right after the break.